Hey, what's happening, Disney Readers? I'm this Guy01, and welcome to the final WWE versus video. This week we'll be doing Goldberg versus Otis, and if that doesn't tell you why we're stopping this series, I don't know what will. But really the real reason, and this is something I've touched on multiple times this year, is that these videos just really age bad. If you don't, like I said before, if you don't watch them in the week that they're, or really even the day that they come out, but especially like the week they come out, they've already become irrelevant. There's very little rewatch value to them. So, yeah. And I'm still set on ending it, as this intro will tell you, as I'm basically saying, yeah, this is the last one. We may play a WWE game in the future, just like as a filler kind of thing, or something like I feel like it serves as a good background to something, like a discussion. I'll do it, but yeah, I don't see this. This is not going to be a regular series anymore. But with that said, it is our weekly birthday versus, and we had a few birthdays this week. Miro, aka Rusev, had his birthday on December 25th. He turned 39. Goldberg's birthday was December 27th. He turned 58. And same day, December 27th, was also Zelina Vega's birthday. She turned 34. So the reason we're doing Goldberg versus Otis is because Otis' birthday was last week, and we didn't do Otis. We didn't have Otis in that match. We did Steve Austin and John Cena. So we're giving Otis his time to shine by letting him get beat up by Goldberg. So getting into Raw this week, Raw began with Sami Zayn calling out Drew McIntyre, or confronting Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre came out first and delivered another just amazing promo. Sami Zayn came out, confronted him. This led to a brawl between the two of them, which then led to Jey Uso coming out to make the save. Him and Sami Zayn were then able to take out Drew McIntyre. Io Sky beat Natalya and Alba Fire to go to the finals of the Women's Intercontinental Championship tournament, meaning it'll be Io Sky versus Lyra Valkyria. And that's actually a pretty interesting matchup, because those are two people that the company is obviously very high on, and could very realistically go either way, who they decided to give as the first. It seems like Lyra would be the safe bet, since Io Sky is already pretty decorated. She's already won multiple titles, and doesn't really need that accolade of being the first Women's Intercontinental Champion to like legitimize her. She's already one of the most legitimate people in the women's division. But it'll still be interesting to see who they decide to go with. Speaking of Alpha Academy, Chad Gable beat Akira Tozawa. After the match, Otis chased off Chad Gable and the Creeds as Chad Gable continued to beat up on Akira. It's one of those things where they again teased the big blow-off match between Otis and Gable, which I feel like is a match that should have happened like 2-3 months ago, when like the split first happened, or that's the match that causes the split, or they have the big split on Raw or something, and then that pay-per-view, that weekend is when they have their big match, or 1 week after that. To give time to hype it up. I feel like that's when it should have happened. Instead, the split just kind of happened, but there was no real big blow-off to it, and now it's been like a months-long feud where the feud's already pretty much over. American Made has already basically won that feud. Alpha Academy is really just around to lose to American Made now at this point. Oh, he hit me with my move. I was going to go for that exact same move. My turn. Oh, I think ran out of stamina. Another fall-away slam. Oh, never mind. Girl. Damian Priest faced Dominic Mysterio in a one-on-one match. The match ended when the Judgment Day came out and attacked Damian Priest to cause a disqualification. Damian Priest then got the help of the War Raiders, Eric and Ivar, to fight off the Judgment Day, even though Damian Priest was doing just fine on his own, really. And again, it's another one of those things where, just like Alpha Academy, the Judgment Day's really only real purpose to staying around, at least as like a whole unit, like Finn Balor, JD McDonough, Carlito, their whole purpose right now in WWE is just to kind of get beat up by Damian Priest. There's no real other reason to have them around still, at least in that form. Liv and Dominic, they're still doing their thing, and because they're involved with Rhea. Otherwise, yeah, they don't really do that much either, in terms of contributing to the Judgment Day. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Get out of here. Into the ropes. You're next. Oh, not you. I tried to change it to Gable. He's already left. He saw me spear Otis. He's like, nope, I'm out. Dexter Lumis faced The Miz. The Final Testament then came out and attacked Dexter Lumis, causing again another DQ. The rest of the Wyatt Six then came out and took out The Miz and the rest of the Final Testament. And then in the main event, Drew McIntyre beat Sami Zayn. After the match, Jey Uso came out to save Sami Zayn from getting further beaten up, until the Bloodline came out and took out both Sami Zayn and Jey Uso. So again, they're still really pushing kind of the Bloodline being on both shows, kind of be like that main force in WWE, where it doesn't matter what show it is, they could show up. Oh, that must have hurt. Then moving on to SmackDown, this is the last SmackDown of the year. Naomi, Bayley, and Bianca Belair beat Nia Jax, Candice LeRae, and Tiffany Stratton. It was a pretty standard match. Once again, we got the tease of Tiffany Stratton considering cashing in on Nia Jax, but never did. Braun Strowman beat Austin Theory, and was just another, not really just like not a pure squash match, but just another way to show off Braun Strowman. Ow. I don't even know what he did. Whoop. Up and over. And straight down. Load him up. Charge. That's Undertaker's taunt. Get out of here. Throw out the trash. The Street Profits beat Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza. Ow. Ow. Uh-oh. Really? That's his finisher? Just like a World's Strongest Slam? What about the Caterpillar? Ow. Sami Zayn faced Carmelo Hayes in his second match of the week. Man, Sami Zayn is like playing in overtime. Carmelo Hayes tried to flee the match, but Braun Strowman came out to prevent that from happening. This then led to the Bloodline coming out and attacking Braun, and then attacking Zayn, again causing another DQ. Which is another shame, because this is probably the best match on SmackDown. Arguably the best match of the week. between Raw and SmackDown, Zayn and Carmelo Hayes, which, you know, when you hear those two are wrestling, it's like, okay, yeah, that seems right. And it's weird that, you know, WWE had 3 matches this week just between Raw and SmackDown, end in like a DQ no contest because of interference. And once again, they're still just trying to hype up, you know, Royal Rumble, as well as the Raw's Netflix debut. So again, it's just really just kind of hype people up, continue storylines until we get into the Royal Rumble season, which then will lead to WrestleMania season. Speaking of the Royal Rumble, the final segment of the night saw Nick Aldis bring out Kevin Owens, giving him one last chance to hand over the Winged Eagle title, which he stole from Cody Rhodes at Saturday night's main event, or else he would be fired. Kevin Owens came out and once again refused to hand over the title unless Cody himself came out and told him to do it or tried to take it from him. Cody Rhodes then came out, confronted Kevin Owens, and then said, if your problem with, you know, Saturday night's main event is that, you know, the referee screwed you, let's do a match where the referee has no say in the result of the match, challenging Kevin Owens to a ladder match where they will hang both the Winged Eagle title and the Undisputed title, and whoever gets those titles down wins and is the WWE champion. Nick Aldis then confirmed that match for the Royal Rumble. Kevin Owens then attacked Cody Rhodes, stomping on the back of his head and neck, before walking out with the Winged Eagle belt. So, like I said before, once again, just building up to the Royal Rumble a bit more. So that should be pretty fun. Royal Rumble is actually looking really fun this year. I mean, Cena is going to be there. We already know that. This will be his last Royal Rumble. This will most likely lead or act as the setup for his final match. I would not be surprised if the person who eliminates Cena is the person he ends up wrestling at Mania. That seems to be the logical decision to go with. Count it. And now we've got a ladder match for the Undisputed Championship. We've still got the possibility of CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, even though that match is set for Raw's debut on Netflix. I wouldn't be surprised if they do it again at the Royal Rumble, or we could also get a confrontation between the two of them in the Rumble match. We've got Roman Reigns still out there. We've got The Rock, who's still out there. So there's a lot of things that could happen at the Rumble that could be really fun to see. What? Yeah, what was that whole conversation? Well, that does it for this video. That does it for Raw and SmackDown, and that does it for our WWE series. Like I said before, we may do another WWE video every now and then if something like really big happens, and I feel like this would be a good video or good game to have on or play while we talk about it. Or if a WWE game comes out that actually has a story mode like the old SmackDown vs. Raw games had, maybe we could do that as well, or a showcase that's worth showcasing. But speaking of Raw's debut on Netflix, I've actually got some thoughts on that, and I've been meaning to talk about this for the last few months now, but just never have. So if you guys, it's because I'm a little worried about it, because if you guys remember the Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight, even if you didn't see the fight, everyone heard about it, and one of the main things that came out of that was basically how bad the stream was. Because it was on Netflix, but it was a live stream. It was a live broadcast, and yeah, that whole Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson thing, in addition to just being, you know, like a money fight, a way to make money, I think it was also really an experiment on Netflix's part to see if they could handle a live broadcast. Because, you know, their whole thing is streaming pre-existing content, pre-recorded stuff, not live broadcast, not live streaming. So I think this was a real test to Netflix to see if they could live stream a broadcast to a wide, you know, to a big amount of people. And I think the answer we got from that is no. At least not at the time with the Paul Tyson fight. There were so many problems with the stream dropping every now and then, freezing a lot, buffering, just a lot of problems with the stream. And with, you know, Raw going to Netflix in 2 weeks, they've got to sort that out, because, you know, for all the people who saw the Tyson-Paul fight, which I don't know how many people actually ended up streaming it, I think you can make a safe bet that roughly the same amount of people will be streaming Monday Night Raw. Maybe not as many, but it's going to be on a constant basis, whereas the Paul Tyson fight was, you know, a one-off. So they've really got to kind of figure out how they're going to do live streaming on Netflix, if this is going to work. So hopefully they've got it figured out by this point. I don't know if they've done any live broadcasts since the Tyson-Paul fight. It seems like every streaming service is streaming football games this year. I don't know if Netflix is doing that at all. I don't think they are. But even like the stuff like Hulu, ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, they're all doing like streaming sports. And, you know, one of the things I hear all the time when watching sports is, I hate the online streaming, I hate the buffering, I hate the freezing, I hate the lag. And, you know, if that's happening with streaming services that like specialize in streaming live content, like ESPN Plus, Netflix better have something up their sleeve to pull this off. But like I said, hopefully they've got that figured out. Otherwise, this Raw's debut on Netflix could be a disaster. So hopefully that doesn't happen, because this is really, WWE's going in. We thought 2024 was going to be a big year for WWE. I think 2025 might be an even bigger year. I mean, moving to Netflix, which just opens up a whole variety of things that they can now do on Raw, because they don't have the restrictions of, you know, cable TV or public TV. They can push the boundaries of their content a lot more. SmackDown is still like one of the biggest shows on USA right now. So, and by being on USA, they also got more range with what they're allowed to do on SmackDown, which we've seen, you know, in the lead up to WrestleMania. So, and you know, Triple H is now fully integrated himself as the head of WWE. He had a really good 2024. Now we'll see if he can carry that into 2025. Now that he's basically, the training wheels are off and he's given basically full reign, both behind the scenes and, you know, from people within WWE, but also outside of WWE, with the whole Netflix thing. But yeah, that whole Netflix thing kind of worries me with how it's going to handle a live broadcast on a weekly basis. Like I said, if the Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight was any hint at how that's going to go, we might be in trouble. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this series. As long as it's been going, I think we've been doing this series for almost 10 years. Because I think we started it with 2K15. I think that was when we started it. It was either 2K15 or 2K16 is when we started it. I think it was 15 though. So we've been doing this for a while. It's always been one of those constants that I've always done. Because this whole series started really... Because before, what I used to do like this whole Raw and SmackDown recap as part of my Arkham Weekly videos on the main channel. And it originally started as just so I had something to talk about to fill the time. I would leave my little notes, or write my notes so I would remember stuff. I was like, oh yeah, I didn't want to talk about that. And then it slowly transformed into an obligation where the focus became on getting through what happened in WWE on Raw and SmackDown instead of just playing Arkham City or whatever game we were playing. So I was like, okay, I need to dedicate this to its own series. And so I dedicated it to playing WWE games, which is when I went to talk about WWE, which makes sense. But then once again, it became more of an obligation about getting through Raw and SmackDown than just making it, you know, a topic for conversation while we play the game. And it just hurt the overall videos and kind of made them pointless after a while. So I think it's a good thing on my part to stop it, and that's what we're going to do. So hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys had a good 2024. I will see you guys next year. Kind of weird that this is the last video of the year, but kind of fitting in another way. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Guy01 and Bill Goldberg signing out. See you guys next year. Bye guys.